All right, we are now
Hi.
recording. We have Jamie Hance
I'm
on the
gonna jump.
All right, go ahead, Jamie.
I'm Jamie. I'm one of Anita's PS coaches in her first business center. I've been with her for like the long haul. I think I was actually might have been her like 7th or 8th coach for her diamond ship. So I've been around for a really long time.
And aren't like 2 of her diamonds that were her first 2 diamonds? Don't they? They're not even.
No.
Yeah.
I think I'm the only one of the first 3 or 4, or maybe even 5 that I'm still around.
That's awesome.
Longevity right here. I grow slow, but I hang around. I don't go anywhere. So, I am 3-star qualifying. I am emerald in my second CBC, soon to be ruby, and then diamond in my second, which will put me at 4-star qualifying. I have gigantic goals for this year, and I'm going to talk about those first because it's important. My goals for this year are elite. I will be 5-star by summit. Actually, I'm shooting for 5-star by the first quarter. 7-star by summit, 10-star by the end of the year. I have a goal to have 2 elite coaches on my team at the end of the year. I know it's exciting stuff. I have a goal to have 5 of my diamonds be star diamonds by the end of the year, of multiple levels. So those are really fun goals to have. I'll be a 6-figure earner by the end of the year. I know, right? Yes, that's the big one. Yeah, so those are my goals, they're fun, right? Goals are fun because you can just like I'm going to swear because I'm in that kind of, it's been a rough day. I almost poured a big glass of vodka, not wine, vodka, a glass of vodka before I got on this call. My 3-year-old, almost 4-year-old had me like, I was going to give her away. I was going to give her away. I was totally going to.
Yeah, right.
She's in bed now. Yeah, single parenting is the thing. It's a thing. Today was a day that it was a thing. So, having big goals is fun.
Basically, when you had her, you started coaching.
She was a year. Anita and I became friends when we found out we were pregnant at the yoga studio at the same time-ish. So we started being friends then. So we were friends all through our pregnancy. I hated her when she had her baby before me because she was due a week after me. She had her she was due like 3 weeks after me. She had her way early. And then we just bonded over having new babies and not knowing what the hell we were doing. Mm-hmm. So we just talked all the time, and she actually was never she just let me watch her. She never pushed it on me. I don't know that she ever invited me or ever asked me because she knew I was broke as. So I think she would have been like, well, she can't really afford it, so I'm just not going to say anything. But I watched her, and I watched her, and I watched her change, like inside out changed. Like, yeah, she lost 70 pounds, but like that wasn't a big deal for me. It was like her personality switch and her confidence switch and I just watched her become a different person. And that was like, what? And I was struggling hugely with who I was because I had been a runner my whole life. I'd started doing triathlons and was competitive. Like I did a half Ironman. Like I didn't like dabble. I go all into things in a physical aspect. I had practiced 5 days a week at the yoga studio. When I was pregnant, I was doing handstands the weekend before I delivered. And then I had a baby, and I was like, I can't do shit. Like I can't take a newborn in a stroller and go for a run. You can't do that. That's not allowed. Not allowed. You can't. I wasn't going to drop her off at the Y so that I could go swimming. I didn't want to pay for a babysitter to go to a yoga class. Like it was just mind-boggling to me. So I was like, what the am I going to do? Like, what am I going to do? I have no outlet. And this was like who I was. It's how everybody knows me. And I haven't moved my body in a way that made me sweat in I can't remember how long. So it wasn't about weight loss. It was never about weight loss for me. When I started coaching, I was actually on a super flare with my Crohn's and was sickly skinny. I was probably weigh almost 30 pounds less than I do right now. So it wasn't ever like a weight loss thing. It was a workout thing. Mm-hmm. And I watched Anita do Insanity and then Chalene Extreme. I was like, so those are challenging. I could do that in my living room. I totally could. And I was terrified of weights because I was a cardio junkie. So Anita was like, well, I love Chalene, so you should do turbo. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. And that was that. I did it right there. Turned this around, and I literally used to do it in my kitchen because my living room was so jam-packed of all of the baby stuff that there was not an option. So I literally did Turbo Fire in my kitchen for 6 months. So yeah, that's how I got to coaching. I was poor as a joke. I had to refinance my car to buy my challenge pack, literally, and I sold diapers, like extra cloth diapers. I sold them. I did more laundry for a real long time so I could buy a challenge pack. But now I'm going to buy the house that I almost got evicted from, and crazy stuff. It's crazy stuff. I was on assistance, and heavily dependent on being on assistance, and I got off of that a year ago completely, and it was so liberating. It was insane. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's amazing to get your challenge back.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and Anita said, she was like, I don't know how you're going to do it. Like, at the challenge pack, and I don't even think they were doing like the 141. Like, there wasn't always a sale when I started. Mm-hmm. So I think it was like 180 or 160 when I got Turbo Fire. That was like half of my rent. Like, that was a gut check when I did that. Oh, and I lost my job right before I signed up, like the week before I signed up to be a coach. So I had no steady source of income at that point. I was doing massage part-time. That was it. And I knew, a light switch went off, and I was like, something has to change. Something in my life, something very drastic has to change. I can't rely on somebody else to make it make sense for me. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't rely on a yoga studio to give me a schedule that works for my life. I can't rely on a chiropractor to give me a schedule that makes sense for my life. I can't do that anymore. And so this just made sense. It has always made sense. It was like a no-brainer for me. Oh, health and fitness, and I get to do, yep. So that was me in coaching. And it makes it sound like I jumped in with 2 feet and I was all in. I don't think I did squat for like 6 months. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so overwhelmed. And Anita was still kind of like finding her feet at that point in time too. So it wasn't like, oh, just go to TIEcoaches.com and you'll be fine. She's like, I don't know, check in your back office maybe. And I was terrified because I needed it. Like, I needed it. So I was terrified. And then, yeah, it took me 11 months to go diamond. And then, and I pushed for that. And that was when my business changed. When I made my big push for diamonds and realized that it wasn't that hard and that I could make it happen. Like, I physically had the capabilities to make those things come together to make diamond happen. I was like, oh, wait a minute. So if I can do that for that, then I can probably do that for all of these other huge milestones that I see other people hitting. So things just seemed really possible once I hit diamond. So yeah, that was insane. I get sidetracked. I am super passionate about this business, so I just but back to why goals are really important. So my goals are really important because they're inspired by why I do this business. And I don't know if I'll ever be invited to say this on like the national wake up call, because my why, the why I do this is to prove two things. To prove to myself that I can do something without failing that's financially involved, because I've struggled my whole life. And it's to prove to my mom that I am not a complete failure and that it doesn't have to go the way she lived her life in order for it to work. Those are my whys. Yes, I have a child. Yes, she's insanely important to me. She's not why I built this business. She benefits from me building this business, and I get to create a life that I want, that she gets to benefit from. But that doesn't motivate. I can do that in 1,000,001 different ways. I can create a life that my daughter will be proud of in 1,000,001 different ways.
But you won't be happy.
Nope. My why is all about me. It is all about me. And I think your why has to be. I don't think your why can be about other people, because it has to motivate you. And when it becomes about someone else, there's 1,000,000 different ways to accomplish that. Right?
You know, because it's like the same thing with losing weight. You know, I mean, if you're on a fitness journey and you're not in it for yourself, then it's probably not going to stick.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I ask my challengers 1,000,000 questions, and they get so uncomfortable. Like in the process, before I sell them a challenge, because I will not sell somebody a challenge pack who I know is not going to follow through.
Yeah.
It makes me look bad as a coach, and it makes Beachbody products look bad in their mind and to everybody that they're going to talk to, because they won't say that they failed. They'll say that the products failed, even if they never took them out of the box. Right? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna make real sure you have an emotional connection to this. This is why I struggle to hit Success Club probably, but I want to make sure you have an emotional connection to your journey, because I can come back to that emotional connection to inspire you. Right? If you're telling me that you had to sit down on the stairs on the way up to your apartment while your 3-year-old ran ahead of you, and they looked down at you from the top of the stairs and asked what was wrong, and it crushed you, I'm pretty sure I can find a way to keep you going on day 17 when you want to throw in the towel. If you're like, oh, I don't like the way my thighs look. Sorry. No. Do you have something more than that? No. Right? What else do you have? Like, what else is inspiring you to make a change? And that's how I word it. I don't say, what are your goals? I say, what's inspiring you to make a change in your life? Because that's what it is. Right? So I don't use the TIE script. Let's just say that. I just talk to people in a different way, because that's what motivates. I'm a pearl, right? Like, I'm a pearl. So the emotional connection with people is what I go for. I'm an empath. Like that's what feeds me. Sometimes good and sometimes bad, but like that's where I come from. So it doesn't inspire me that you want to fit into a size 6 jeans. That doesn't inspire me. Why do you want to? Why is that important to you? And the same thing is true as a coach when you're setting goals. Well, I want to hit Emerald and get Success Club 5. Why? Well, because you told me that should be my next goal. Not good enough. Why do you want to hit Emerald and reach Success Club 5? Why is that important to you? Do you understand what it does for your business? Mm-hmm. So I make people dig deeper so that they understand, right? They understand why those goals are important, for one. And then they can figure out why they're important to them, right? Like, I can't reach these milestones in my life, my whys, right? They don't happen without me hitting markers in my business. So that's what fuels me. That's why I will go diamond in my second business center before the end of the month. Does it scare the shit out of me that I have 5 coaches and no emeralds and the end of the month is 8 days away? 7 days away? Yes, it does. Yes, it sure does. But I also have a huge belief I am all about the power of the universe And as long as I know that I am taking action in the direction of what I want to achieve, and I believe that it's possible, not that it's possible, but that it will happen, then there's no way that it cannot.
Yep.
And the belief in those things happening comes from my why, right? Like, the belief has to be fueled. You can't just say, yeah, I believe I'm going to go 5-star before summit. Okay, super. The universe knows you're lying because your energy doesn't say that, right? Your actions don't say it. But I was taking a shower. I took a shower for you, Katie.
I took a shower for you too.
Aw, I think we both came in with wet hair. And my phone was dinging, and it was a coach who was having trouble getting through the registration because something dinked on the app or whatever. And she was like, I was like wiping in the shower, texting with this coach. And she was like asking these questions like, you know what, I'm in the shower, but I will get back to you in 6 minutes. And she goes, wait, you're in the shower? I was like, well, I heard my phone dinging. She goes, you just made me laugh. And that made all of this okay. So I'll just talk to you in a few minutes. But those are behaviors, right? Those are the behaviors that tell the universe that you actually believe that your goals will come true, right? And that belief starts with your why. So you got to get real freaking certain about why you're doing this, because it's the only thing that keeps you going when shit gets shitty. And it will. It always does. Mine goes in about 6-week flows. Like I have 6 really awesome weeks, and then I hit this like phase where I spend a couple of weeks like trudging through sludge. And it's just how it is. But it's the knowing that there's an end to that, right? And a knowing that my goals are still there, and my want is still there, my why is still there, that gets me to the other end of the sludge field, right? It happens. It just does. It happens for everybody. I talk with coaches all the time, and they're like, I don't know what's going on with me. I just, this weird funk. And I'm like, yeah, it happens. It happens. And you can either like lose yourself in the funk and stay there forever, right? Or you can get real clear about why you're doing this, right? And make steps to get out of the funk by just doing the right behaviors. Because when your goals start happening, it's impossible to be in the funk, right? The funk happens when your goals are taking longer than you wanted them to. And that usually happens because you're not doing the behaviors that you were supposed to be doing, right? To get to the goals. So we control all of it. Like, it's all on us. Katie, I'm just like word vomiting.
No, you're good. I love it. I'm taking notes. I've missed my goal twice.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Well, what happens, right?
No, the same thing happen? So I reassess.
Yeah.
And I go again.
And you go again. Yeah.
I was pissed for like half a day.
And that's good. Anger is a good energy to motivate you, right? Anger is a good motivator. I get mad at my mom all the time, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to write you a $5,000 check. Just give it to you and be like, right? Can't wait for these things.
By this Thursday, my goal is to be 1-star qualifying.
Ow! Yay! That's super exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Super duper exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very stoked for you. Very stoked for you. Shall we make it a little interactive?
Mm-hmm.
Like you promised. So Laura, can you tell me what your goals are for, I would say for February, because it's coming up, and then what your like 12-week goal is? I learned something really valuable today that I think I've always known in the back of my mind. When you set a goal, right? So if you give yourself till the end of the year to hit diamond, you will take until November to start working on it, right? It always comes together in the last like 20% of your goal window. So if you start making 12-week goals, then guess what happens? You start hitting those big goals a lot faster and a lot sooner, and your work starts to compound on itself. So I'm going to say, what's your February goal, and then what's your your quarter goal?
Well, my goal was to hit diamond last week, and it didn't happen. So it's still to hit it this week.
Where are you sitting at with it right now? Like, what's your drill?
I have what did you ask me? I'm sorry. I have a crying child that's
I can hear. I know. That's when I almost gave mine away when I was trying to record a video, and I'm like, really? Can you just give me 4.5 minutes, please?
Yeah, he's like 4 days into like 2-year molars. Like,
oh,
it's
fun.
Probably the worst. It's worse than anything thus far, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's not fun. It's tough. So what's your drill down look like? Like what do you need to get to your diamondship?
Okay, there are 4 on each side.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that a couple of those are on the verge of inactiveness.
Okay. By pretty sure, like you've checked in your drill down.
Yeah, I need to check that. That's what I'm not aware of at the very moment. I need to check on that, but
by the time you hit SC, you'll have replaced them.
I can't. I don't even know right now. I'm trying to.
You're good. We'll make it easier.
Why is that on anything because of this home life right now?
Okay,
I've got 4 on each side, and then 1 under 1 on one side, and then 1 busting butt in her first 2 weeks, basically.
So she's got her husband on one side.
Okay. Gotcha.
She's got to you still have to make Dougie Emerald?
Right.
Okay.
So your husband and a half an emerald away. Are they on opposite legs?
Yes.
Already has one signed up? And your husband?
Right. I've got 1 person on the other side of him.
Okay.
To go, and then I've got to push this 1 person to get 1 on each side, and then I need 2 more, 1 on each side of mine, just to secure.
But the good thing about it is that you're not having to push her. She's really pushing herself.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Which is why I have a lot of confidence that you're gonna go diamond by Thursday, because she's like, I mean,
I know.
I don't know.
I'm so proud. I'm so proud.
That's always exciting too when you have a coach that just hits the ground running.
Mm-hmm.
That's super exciting. Awesome that diamond is your goal. Can I ask you the bigger question? Is why is diamond your goal? Damn it, she was gonna ask me that.
Well, I mean, just like with anything, I feel like the more incentives to do better, the better you do. And this emerald thing is pretty stagnant. I mean, if we're just talking about labels and ranks, but I just feel like that the business in and of itself, I mean, it can only grow if you're above where you've been. I mean, I have no idea how to answer the question that you're asking me, honestly.
Well, it's a goal, right? So my goal for 5-star by the end of the quarter is a goal because that puts me into qualification right off the bat to earn the quarterly bonus as a 5-star diamond. That's why that's a goal for me. And because that directly ties into me being able, this is horrible, me being able to throw in my mom's face that I can support myself by myself. I don't need to be married, though I would like to be, but I don't need to be married. I don't need to rely on somebody else. I don't have to have a regular job, right? Like, I can show my mom that when I can show her a $2,500 quarterly bonus check, right? So that's why that's a goal for me.
Yeah.
It's not a goal for me because it's the next step. Right?
Yeah,
it's
I mean, because
for me because it ties into my why. That's why I stay motivated towards it.
I mean, the goals to, get out of debt and have a savings account and to be able to be financially free and all that stuff. I mean, that's all hoopla and wonderful. But when you talk about it like that, I mean, flow. I have a bachelor's degree in speech path, and I tried 3 different times to get a master's, one in that and twice in another field. And, life got in the way, and I was distracted the whole time, and it was bad timing. And let's see, there's, $100,000 plus in student loans that I'm just in IBR right now, and my monthly payment is $0 a month. That doesn't feel good. That I owe somebody, but I don't have to pay them because I don't make enough money to pay them. Besides all that, I mean, what the hell did I do the last 12 years? Why did I choose that field? It wasn't. It was a mute point. It was because it was somebody else's field. And then I switched it because I didn't have to do much core. So there's just been no real direction. And now, I mean, and I've, loved children, love people, love helping people. All that's always been part of my life. But, I mean, nothing with it. So, and honestly, this is we're pushing 7 months in this. And that's funny that you went diamond in 7 months, by the way, because I'm like, ooh, ding, ding, ding. But this is the very first time that I have a challenge group where I have really passionate people about what they're doing, and I didn't have to convince them to do what they're supposed to do in the group. They're just doing it because they're whatever it is. They were serious, or about 4 of them were people that I had talked to over the course of each month, and it being bad timing. And so therefore their sincerity and discipline, they knew what they were getting themselves into versus the BFF that just did it just because, or, the family member that was helping you out or whatever. Not to say that they're invalid, because they're not, but it's doing something different to me to actually see people follow through with what I may not even be doing myself 100% right now, because I'm not. Not like I did in the beginning as far as the challenge, because I mean, we're as coaches, I mean, yeah, we're doing what we're supposed to do, but I mean, I'm not, doing the challenge like I did it in the beginning.
So I think that's huge though, Laura, when you said that this challenge group is doing something to you.
It is.
And the reason that it is because it's hitting you right in your why. Because they're super passionate about it, it shows you, right? It shows you why you got into. That's the group that you want to be running, right? Those are the people that you're trying to help. That's why it's making that switch in you.
Well, especially when all this other time I've been like, okay, Katie, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? They don't even acknowledge that they, purchased anything. It is like, what the hell, and you question yourself and you doubt yourself when, but now that, I don't know, it's crazy. And then for the first time, I left someone in a group that didn't buy, because we had the conversations that we had, and her schedule is just whacked because she's in school and she's a nurse and her daughter's getting married, and I just left her there. And because she was like, I was like, I trust that, you'll end up taking care of this and, submitting your enrollment or whatever. And she said something like to the effect, just take me out of the group. I'll get back with you when I have a life. And I was like, no, she can, and I've never actually put a thought into doing that, really, just because, that's just not what I was, that's not how I looked at it. But I thought to myself, okay, I sat in a group with Katie before I participated.
And what you're showing her is that you believe that despite all of the everything that she has going on in her life, that she can still be successful.
Yes. And it also makes me feel like I'm not cold-hearted either to somebody's busy schedule, and I'm not saying, okay, everybody's got to like take a chance and watch it and then buy. No, that's not what I'm saying. But once in a while, I mean, what the heck?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So what would you say is your biggest, like your biggest part of your why, your biggest thing that keeps you pushing forward? Like what gets you right here?
You talking about with the business or with Beachbody in general?
Your life in general. Right? Like what has you in your life pushing for that kind of success?
Well, I mean, I just in general,
Can't be general.
well, hey.
Okay, so when you hit that 2-star bonus and you get that big check, like, what is going to be so, what is going to drive you to want to get that check?
What are you going to feel? Like when you get that 2-star bonus, like you can imagine it, right? Like you can practically freaking taste the air that you'll breathe when you open your back office and it's there. And if you can't, you need to.
I wish that I could even comprehend what you're talking about, because I just, again, I don't fathom the weekly check past what it's been, because I just don't. I want to, but I mean, takes one to know one, right?
Nope. I lay in bed at night. I'm not joking. I lay in bed at night and I envision my life the way that I want it to be. And you can absolutely believe that my commissions page in my back office is in that envisionment. And you can bet that those columns over on the right there say $2,500. You bet your ass they do. Am I making 20? No. No. Not making that right now. Sure as hell I'm not. But until you believe that it's possible in your brain, Laura, it will never happen. It will never happen unless you believe that it's possible.
I believe that it's possible, but I don't envision what it could possibly become, because I just don't. I don't even know what's going to happen whenever I do make diamond. What's going to happen? What's going to change the monies? Because
you'll make $4 more per team cycle bonus. Your team cycle bonus will go up because you'll be driving more volume.
Right. I remember that.
Yeah. And then when you go 2-star, you have people building volume for you. And then that's when things get fun and you start making actual real money. So you have to show your team that it's easy to go diamond, so that they know it's easy to go diamond. Emerald is a freaking walk in the park. I'm sorry. Sign up your freaking husband and your best friend. Sign them up. They owe you one. You owe them one. I don't freaking care. Take them out for dinner. Whatever. Go Emerald. Because until you go Emerald, you're not taking advantage of the perks of the business, right? So if you went Emerald in your first week, there's no reason that your coaches shouldn't be doing the exact same thing.
Right.
So you need to go and have this conversation with them. What's motivating you? What's driving you? Why? Why are you doing this business? What can you see for yourself out of it? Like, what's your big picture goal? You want to make 6 figures? Laura, do you want to make 6 figures?
Sure. I want to make as much as possible to take care of life.
Imagining $2,500 weekly paychecks, because that's 6 figures. Start imagining $2,500 weekly paychecks, because that's what 6 figures looks like, right? So you have to believe. You have to believe it's possible for you, right? And it is. I'm nobody. I didn't finish college. I went for a semester. Doesn't even count for anything, I don't think.
Good time.
It was a good time. I'm a single mom, right? Like at societal levels, I failed on pretty much every playing field, right? But I'll be 4-star qualifying at the end of the month. I'll make an income for myself, and I'll provide for my family, and I'll say F you to the man because I did it my way, and you can do it your way.
Jamie, when you got 2-star, how much was your bonus?
It was like $852 or something like that. They generally run around $1,000. I think it was a low quarter, like a low money quarter. At the end of the year, right? November. So it was October, November, December, which are low volume months. Mm-hmm. So that quarter bonus is always a little bit smaller. They're usually closer to around $1,000 for 1-star, $2,500 to $3,500 for 2-star, or for 5-star. 2-star is about $1,000 usually.
I thought it was more than that.
Well, do you know how bonus pool works?
Yeah, it's like 2%.
2% of all of the teen cycle bonuses that have been paid out for that quarter. Mm-hmm. And then 2-stars get 0.5%, 5 stars, 10 stars, 15 stars, each get 0.5%. But obviously there's way more 2-stars than there are 15 stars, yada, yada, yada. So I think it was a big 2-star pool and a small quarter. So it's a double whammy. Because you have to hold that qualification too. And there were so many people pushing at the end of the year, right? For Elite and Premier and yeah. So I think it's a short quarter usually.
Which is why I am going to be a solid 2-star way before then.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
My goal is 7 by December. Solid 7.
Heck yeah.
I need some wiggle room.
Do you know what that looks like? Like, have you drawn it out on paper without names?
No.
Yeah, draw it out. I do it all the time, just for fun. People doodle like their married name or whatever, celebrity, somebody, right? People doodle like.
I have it on my phone and I look at it, but.
No, there's something about the physical connection of like pen to paper, like writing it out that like, I don't know, it puts it in your. I'm not like super woo-woo crazy girl, I swear. There are things I believe. And they have so I'm going to continue to believe them. Yeah. I went 1-star December 31st because I pictured New Year's Day as a 1-star diamond. I did it for like 4 months. Literally every night before I went to bed. 2014. Yeah, I sat at 1-star for almost a whole year before like things started happening. So
I am I need to sign 2 coaches under my husband to make him diamond.
Mm-hmm. Do it.
Well, it's actually under my little brother who's on the other side of an emerald.
Oh yeah.
So I just got to get that done by Thursday.
Yeah. Super easy. Super easy.
I know.
Right?
I don't know why it's not.
What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? Failure. Everyone's afraid of failure.
Yeah.
At some level, everybody's afraid of failure.
I definitely am.
Mm-hmm. I am. I'm so terrified of falling flat on my face and my mom coming to me and saying, "I told you so."
Yeah, that's like the creepy, most hated terminology to hear from her. Ugh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What motivates me though too, right? Like that fear is a partial motivator too. Not in the best way, but it works.
I've just put so much heart into this that it can't all be for nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel that way too, but I also have to remember that people come and go.
Oh yeah. You have to work with the waiting.
and that just in and of itself, like with MLM period, you know, and you know, whether or not the people that are new to it or whatever understand that, I just have to remember that, because you know, you can have it 1 minute and it can be gone, but
That's why you have to keep growing, and you can't ever sit stagnant, right? You have to constantly be adding people all the time. I never have less than 10 inactive coaches going on in my business all the time because people suck.
Can I say my coaches that are working that I've had for a while, they all signed up during the hard months.
Yeah. Weird, right?
Still here.
I had 3 coaches come back in January, February, end of January, early February. 3 coaches that dropped off the face of the earth who came back to me. They're like, you know what? I think I'm ready now. I was like, okay. Super duper. Sign back up. 3 coaches. 3 coaches in a matter of 2 weeks that came back.
And they quit when?
A year ago.
Wow.
Like 8 years ago. Disappeared. Signed up and disappeared. Right? Those coaches.
Were they working ever, or were they just like, they just... Okay.
No, they literally signed up, did nothing, and disappeared.
Super stoked.
Super so excited. Oh my God, I can't wait. And you're like, yes,
all
my
in.
next time coach.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Hello? Anybody there? No.
Yeah.
But I kept reaching out to them because I connected to them, right, when I first signed them up. Like, I knew their stories and why it was important for them to take this on. And I just kept poking at their why, right? Remember why you were so excited about doing this? Like, that's still a thing for you, right? Like, you still want to do this and X and Y, and it's still important to you to, yeah, okay, well, we're still here. Whenever, like, life sorts itself out, we're still here. And those people that I've stayed in contact with have all of them have come back.
So that means that they're ready, because I mean, they wouldn't just.
Yeah, they're all in a new coach chat now, and they all feed off each other, and it's good stuff. It's good stuff. I don't recruit though. I don't recruit.
You don't recruit.
Like, what are you talking about?
He doesn't have to anymore.
I don't recruit. I talk to people. I won't say that I don't recruit. I do recruiting posts on my like page, and they 90% of the time fall flat and do nothing. I just piss money away all the time. My coaches have almost always come to me. In the very beginning, when I was a brand new coach, I talked to people and I talked to everybody, and I ran challenge groups, and they came from my challenge group. Alora came from a challenge group. We talked for a year before she signed up.
She's yours?
Alora? Mm-hmm. She was my first time.
Score.
Yeah, she's on my weak leg too. It's like so amazing. She's great stuff. She's good stuff. But yeah, that was Alora. But she was in a challenge group. She was going to return a challenge pack. When she bought it, she knew. She goes, this is not going to work. She was a Division I runner. She's like, there's no way this is going to do anything for me. I find out much later. She was going to return her challenge pack. She was certain of it. And then she got in my challenge group and was like running the show. And I was like, hey, so do you ever think about coaching?
What was her program?
What did she start with? P90X3 maybe? Something along those lines, I want to say. No, she was before 21 Day Fix.
So, and then how long did she sign Kristen up?
Kristen came on pretty quick for her. Oh my God, there was so much drama. Kristen's just drama. She's just an emotional, like, okay. I remember I spent that whole summer on the phone. With Alora going, I don't know what to do with Kristen. And then Kristen would call me and I'd be like, dude, I don't know. Stop stealing other people's coaches. Just don't do that. Well, but I know them and they came to me. So yeah, that's valid, but you need to talk to people. Yeah, it was a gong show. And now Kristen and I don't ever talk ever. We're just way different. like Alora and I are the same kind of person. And then one of my coaches that quit, isn't being honest with me, but she quit and she's going to join up under Kristen. They are the same kind of person, and I can't handle it.
One of your
So I'm like, yeah. She quit like 3 months ago, but she's still, and it's a long story. She's going to sign up under Kristen, and I'm going to laugh when it happens. But
well, here's what I think: is if she's in your downline, what is she going to get that she couldn't get?
Yeah, she's crazy.
I don't know.
Because she's crazy. She wants somebody to hold her hand, and I won't do it.
Kristen's not going to hold her hand.
No, but they're like BFFs. They're just like BFFs, so it's whatever. It'll be whatever. She's not gonna do anything.
Go there.
I sat at almost diamond for 1.5 years and did nothing. Like, I don't know how to motivate you. Like, I don't know. Everybody else is growing and you are not, so I don't know what to say.
Well, I've almost been a diamond for a whole year.
Get there. It'll happen. It'll so happen. Like I said, it took me forever. And then it took me another year to go 1 star. Almost a whole nother year to go 1 star. Like 9 months.
Well, that's about what it'll be. A little short, a little shy. So Laura, tell me your why again.
Oh, you're muted.
Wah wah. My wah wah.
Yeah, your why.
Your why. Like your real why. The why.
This is like the loaded question always, and I mean,
it's really important though. Like
it is.
It has to be emotional, right? Like it has to be like a from your gut thing, or it doesn't work.
I mean, the one thing that I keep saying about, what I did in the beginning and what happened to my physicalness and my body and my, health and stuff, with the situation and the illnesses in my family. I mean, to sustain life, period. I mean, we're not God and we don't know what can happen because we're not promised. But I mean, if we choose to, be foolish when we're shown better methods of taking care of ourselves and we don't adhere to it, then we're not taking care of our bodies. I mean, it's our temple. I mean, we only have one of them. And when the different things happen to me physically, with my health, when I, and how I felt in the beginning, I mean, that's after 6 days, that's why I asked Katie, how was I supposed to, that I had to know somebody that wanted to do this. I mean, I didn't even know I was set up to work a business. I had no idea. I mean, I was just trying to lose baby fat that, I mean, I'm lazy. I never worked out in my life. I never did any sports. It's creeping back in some, but felt good to sweat. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if we're going to die of a car accident, that's one thing. Freak accident. I mean, I don't want to die of a disease. I mean, that's part of the why, to help people. I mean, and it's real. It's not just, just because you asked me that. I mean, I really truly believe that, we're destined to be population controlled in, the United States or in the nation or whatever. We don't live in China, luckily, but I mean, pretty soon, I mean, somebody from another country is going to kill us off. I mean, it's going to happen. But while we're here, we should sustain our life with what we put in our bodies, right? I mean.
So when you reach 2 that's your why?
That's part of it.
Okay.
That's part of it. And then the other part that I was talking about earlier is kind of ties in along the lines of never accomplishing anything I set out to do. I mean, yeah, I graduated high school. Yeah, I graduated college.
That's the real stuff.
I mean, why did I even go to college? What the hell?
Laura, you've been telling me that since you started.
What?
You've been telling me that since you started. Since the first month you were coaching, is that you wanted to make this something that you were going to finish. You always start something you finish.
What did you just say? It just broke up.
Since the first month that you've been coaching, you've been saying, I always start stuff and I don't finish it.
I think that's your bigger why. I think the health stuff is absolutely valid and it's important and it's a good reason to push play every day and keep track of what you're eating. Absolutely. Is it the thing that's going to make you stay up an extra 40 minutes because you're in the middle of a conversation with a potential person? No. But that feeling of never having followed through, of not having accomplished what you've set out to do, that'll keep you on chat for another 40 minutes. Yeah? It's the emotional stuff, right? It's the emotional stuff that pushes you towards your goals. That's the why. The other stuff is the easy stuff. It's the easy stuff.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Are you recording this?
Now we're getting somewhere. Hey, but now you're getting somewhere, right? Remember this feeling that you're having right now, that's important. That's important.
Won't it be nice this time next year to be able to go to see Widespread and not have to worry about how much our hotel room costs?
Right, because I've been like, okay, am I gonna have to tell Katie, or is she gonna have to tell me that we're gonna have to not go? I'm like, who's gonna tell who that we're not going? Because I'm just anticipating that to happen, and that's dumb anxiety stress.
No, we're going.
Well, we're gonna have to set our timer and pack our bags at the same time because
We're going.
My life was saturated in that kind of stress for 3 years.
What did you say?
Said my life was saturated in that kind of money stress for 3 years. And it sucks all of your energy, all of your energy. It takes up all of your space, all of your headspace.
I can say this in front of Dougie. I mean, we can struggle for, month after month with our sex life, and it can be on the back burner, but we'll get through that. That's not that big of a deal. But the financial stress, that shit has got to stop because it's way more unhealthy than missing a meal or eating out and going through the drive-through. It F's with us in every not just physically but emotionally, and then
it's killing your sex life too.
Well, whatever.
Right?
But I'm just saying.
Stuff, but that kind of stress that's in between you guys, it's affecting your relationship too, right? It just does. It has an effect. It does.
And then not having the balance with this and being addicted to doing this and wanting to do this whenever I'm not asleep. Literally, I've never missed a shower until beach party.
Laura's never missed a call either.
I love it. I almost made a post the other day because I took a shower 2 days in a row for the first time in 4 years. So I was like, oh my God, it's like a mom win. And I was like, I don't know if I want to share that about myself.
Yeah, that's like a post to put on your team in your team page.
Right? Mom win.
All right.
I like it. Laura, I wasn't trying to make you upset, but I'm glad that I got you to get upset because that's where the money stuff happens. But the money stuff.
I'm not mad at you.
Good. I'm glad.
I don't remember the last time I shed a tear. So
It's a good one too.
they
I cry all the time now.
well, I used to cry for the fact that, you know, just anything, just the dumbest stuff, you know, all the time, 24/7, crying because I was crying. But
So I have your why written down.
good.
You better write it down in your notebook. Better look at it every day.
And then write your goals out too.
Mm-hmm.
And look at those every day. And then spend 4 minutes. 4 minutes a day. You don't even have to give it 5. Just spend 4 minutes a day, like in your headspace. You imagine the first time you open your back office and that commission says $2,342. And then like feel all the feels. Just spend 4 minutes. 4 minutes every day. It'll happen. Watch your first paycheck that like crosses the 2,000 mark will be $2,342.
And I like want to just give it to my mom. Just give it to her.
Mm-hmm.
The wise keep on coming. I love you, Laura.
I mean, you know, like, don't you just want to be like, here?
Oh, I can't wait to write that. I cannot wait to write that check to my parents. I cannot wait. You have no idea. Well, you probably do have some idea. But yeah, absolutely. And they have graciously helped me my whole life. But it's still going to feel really good. Really good.
Mine too, where it's like, I'm too, my humility is, it's like last month was the last straw. I'm not doing it again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing it again. I'll go in default, but I'm not doing it again.
The first time you take your mom out to lunch, it'll feel really good.
Well, I'd rather just like pay a car note for her.
You do that too. Well, Laura, if we're not friends already, you can friend request me if you ever want to chit chat. I promise I don't.
You did another call for us, and I vividly remember your belief system of envisioning things and speaking it.
I'm still believing it. It's still working for me. So, yeah. So we do. It's part of our team culture. We absolutely talk goals all the time, and we talk about like, okay, awesome. That's your goal. Now picture yourself achieving it. What does it feel like? No, like tell me. Talk about it. And we do that on our team calls for sure. Because that's this, like, emotion sets things into motion faster than anything else. Because that's like the biggest energy there is. You know?
Yeah. All the factual stuff is great, but I mean, it's like, I don't know. If I feel like I feel about myself with like how Katie's kind of held my hand, and she's allowed, you know, I've allowed her to do that. She's allowed me to do that, and it's been great because, I mean, I'm just not I don't teach myself things from reading off the screen or whatever.
You and I don't hold your hand.
Well, I'm just saying in such a way to where I'm like, I think about what I want to teach people. And sometimes I'm like, you know what? That's not what I need to teach them. They need to learn that on their own. Or, you know, whatever you just said about us need to talk more about the deeper stuff sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm the touchy-feely coach. Like we talk volume and placement and challenge backs and success. We talk about that stuff too. We do, but it's not what fuels our team. It's not what makes us successful. It's the like the stuff that we have to talk about. But we did for a really long time. We started every call with happy and crappy, and that was also lots of fun. So we talked about our successes and our struggles, and that always led to good trainings because we all struggle with a lot of the same things. So it led to brainstorming about how to deal with that stuff, you know. But
all right, so I'm going to quit recording.